Welcome to Speak Up Afrika. And as it goes without saying, to be informed is to be empowered. And when you're empowered, you have the leverage to be engaged better. Welcome to another episode, another conversation. And today, I want to pivot things and take them a notch higher. You see, Africa is our business. But in Africa and in Kenya, we do have businesses. But some of us fail even before we take off. And all these nuggets of wisdom have been put together very authentically in a book that we launched the other day. And joining me in studio today is Reena, a podcaster, author, and her new release is Decoding Business Growth. Reena, welcome to Speak Up Afrika.
Thank you so much, Wendy. I'm really humble. Thank you. I was looking forward for this conversation for a long time.
Yes.
But yes, finally the day is here.
Yes. I'll tell our community that we continue to congratulate you for the book that you've just put in the market. And I guess that's a good place to start. Decoding Business Growth. What was the thought process behind it? How did you come about to even fundamentally having that topic in play? Give us the backstory behind the book.
So, yes, as you all know, because of Wendy, I'm Reena Gore. I have been CFO for quite some time now. And that is the background from where I have understood the businesses, the processes, the people on the ground.
Yeah.
So as you grow up the ladder, I didn't become CFO on day one. So I was accountant, then a chief accountant, then a controller. So I have seen each and every step of the business, how it goes. And I have been seeing so many gaps that, yes, if we treat these gaps in a right way, or we have that knowledge with the people, businesses can do so much better.
Yeah.
Why should that knowledge get restricted to certain people, certain organizations? It should be available to everyone.
Correct.
That was the thought process behind it.
Correct. Fantastic. And again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's get to dissecting some of the information and wisdom that has been put in the book. Reena, many people think that getting into business is escaping the discipline and the matrix that is there in employment. I want to be my own boss. I want to start my own business.
Correct.
So that nobody asks me anything.
Any questions?
Please burst that bubble and tell them what's the importance of self-leadership, if at all, when it comes to business growth and leadership.
It's actually a myth, exactly the way you said. When you transition from a job and you become your own employer, it is so much more difficult. The most important factor that plays the role is discipline. If you're transitioning and you are getting into a business as an entrepreneur, if you don't have that discipline, that I still need to work that 10, not 8 now, 10, 12, 24 hours.
24/7, quite literally.
24/7, yeah. And you have to build those systems for yourself.
Yeah.
So it is so much difficult because when you're in a job, someone has laid down systems. You have to just go do that work, come back, do some reporting. Okay, that's how most of the people work.
Yeah.
That is another story that we need to unpack. But actually, as an entrepreneur, you need to do so much, starting from sales. You become your own salesperson, you become your own marketing person, you are the
One-man
technician.
band. Yes.
Everything. You are the HR person. So imagine you're doing the work of at least 5 to 10 people.
Yeah.
So 24 hours is less. And if you don't have that discipline, that every day these are the tasks I need to do, you don't have a plan charted out for you, it's not difficult, it's impossible for you to be successful in your entrepreneurship. So discipline goes the first.
All right. I want to allude to the statement you gave when we were beginning the conversation that you grew up the ranks to CFO. That's a trend that is not popular anymore because the young demographic of people want to start today, get it right, and boom in the market,
Right.
which is not correct. What are some of the mistakes that SME founders are doing that you can outrightly point and say, that's not a direction that will take you to glory.
Yeah. So one of the most important there are so many I have seen as a common mistake, right from managing your not managing your finances well. One thing I would like to emphasize on is when you are starting your entrepreneurship journey, there is one specific chapter also which I have included in my operation, the one chapter, I can do it alone syndrome. You think only I have all the knowledge.
Yes.
Only I can do everything that needs to be done. And if I delegate, it's not going to work the way I am doing it. That is the biggest problem. You want to do everything yourself. You need to start planning, start delegating. I know when you're a solopreneur, it's not easy. But with AI, I think you have some tools which you can start planning for, how you will delegate. So it's possible. When you think it's possible, it's possible.
Then it becomes possible.
Yeah.
All right. I know we've had conversations off camera, and one thing I would want to again hear you say it is people do make mistakes when they're pivoting from employment to entrepreneurship.
Right.
Take us through that journey. What are some of the myths that are there and some of the dire truths that are there? And what can people do right if they are already doing wrong, or prepare themselves when they're pivoting from employment to being their own bosses?
So when you're moving from your employment to your being your own boss, one of the most important factor is first work on yourself. Be very clear. Even if you're spending 3 to 6 months just to understand what exactly you're going to put out there, do that. Because as much as you drill down to the niche, to your expertise, that is what is going to give you an edge. Like for example, when I wanted to come out, I really spent so much time in thinking, what should I actually do? Because getting another employment job is actually easy than to get into entrepreneurship, find what I should go out with, finding the right target audience. So drill down within yourself, self awareness, work on that, work on your inner self. What are the skill gap that you can see? A lot of time you think that I can do. Okay. Thinking does not put
mean
it
that you actually can do it.
Yeah. So a lot of time public speaking or communication, develop your communication skills. I think I would ask even the junior high, so you should start as early as you're in junior high. Start working on your communication skills. It helps you so much because now you're talking to people, you're understanding people, and communication does not mean, you talking. It means understanding as well, being a good listener. So all those aspects, work on your personality development as much as you are working on your, if you are a software engineer, you want that product to go out. As much as you want that, work on all this, understand the market, create that network that you want. It's a lot. It does. So if you want to really jump, don't just jump tomorrow.
Blindly.
I'm starting. Don't do that. Take your time, prepare yourself very well. There is a saying, right? If you want to cut a tree, in 10 hours, 9 hours I would spend in sharpening the axe. Yes. So do that. And then you slowly move. Don't rush yourself out there.
All right. It's true to say that this conversation we're having today is as a product of networking. And I know that is a space that speaks to the core of who you are. What is the importance of networking when pivoting into entrepreneurship?
It is of prime importance. But right now, what is happening a lot, even in Kenya, is we have so many networking events. First, just have an idea of really in which network you must invest. I am a pro. I believe that you must invest in those networking events, but just find out which are the right ones. Not all the rooms need you. So look for the right people, right, the target, or is it really making sense for me to be there, and would it really help me, and on the other side, would I be able to help them?
Yes. It's
right?
not always about what you're
What
gaining,
I
but also
want,
what
yeah.
can you give when
I
you're in
can
those
give,
rooms.
yeah. So if you are in a network whereby people are only, for example, if I'm a business coach, and where people are only talking about, say, only, pure tech, it might not be really of my interest. But if it's a summit where SMEs are there, I might really would like to attend that.
Yeah.
Right? So just try to find out what is the right network group you should be in. Initially you will have to try out. You cannot rule out that, right?
Yeah.
Because out of, even me, I always believe, just sometimes just go out and see which one is working. But once you have settled down, try to be, very specific on who you network with, how you network it, and please try to add value to other people as well.
Okay. Let me ask this question, because I think when I look back, I was also very timid and shy when walking into rooms. People find it hard to believe, but actually there's a season in my life that I just had to go with courage.
Correct.
But how do we effectively network, Reena? There's the element of business cards, know how to give value, be of value, communication skills. But let's try and unpack it to maybe 3 or 4, or if you have more, ways of effectively networking in the marketplace. Yeah.
Okay, for me, I'm a very person of simplicity. I believe in simplicity. Try to keep it simple. Be authentic. So, for example, if you're in a room, you have gone for attending an event, right? Be yourself. Introduce yourself confidently. That's why I say, communication skills
It's important.
is so important.
Yeah.
I have learned it very hard way. Even me, I was like that. And it took time for me.
Yes.
People would come and give me advice. Reena, you're still, you need to go out. You need to talk. So start somewhere, first of all. Very important. As you have also said, you
Yes.
remember in the podcast we had.
Yeah.
First start going out there. Keep it very simple. Talk to people. If you are in a room, try to read the room, who can be your real connection, with whom you can connect, you can add value, and the person can add value to you as well. Yeah, which you can then, from the, if you have met say 50 people, you won't really remember also all of them. Pick 3-4 people who you feel are genuine. Maintain that relationship. After the networking event, try to reach out to them, develop a rapport, go for one-on-one coffee or something, understand them, see how you can add value, start somewhere, and then slowly it will grow.
Okay. As a business coach, which I would want you to introduce that element to our audience at Speak Up Afrika, there's one thing that happens a lot. I don't know about your experience, but you walk into a room and maybe you're a panelist, or you're giving a keynote, or you are speaking. And of course, once the event is done, the whole room is following you, Reena, and everybody wants your number. Everybody wants to network with you. So as a business coach, being on the other side of the spectrum, what are some of the things that you can say have stood out for people who you've maintained relationships with? Because Reena, half the room will come and say, "Oh, Reena, thank you so much. I can't relate.
Happens.
I understand. Please give me your number."
And then
from my experience, I used to be skeptical about giving out my number, because I'm just like, will I manage this magnitude of people? But over time, people used to fall off, because
exactly,
after networking meeting, someone says hi.
Out of 10, hardly 1 or 2 will actually reach out to you.
Yeah. And then someone reaches out and they say hi. I'm like, okay, well, thank you. So where do we go ahead from
what
hi?
now?
So what has your experience been?
So that happens a lot. 10, 50 people will take your number. I feel free, just take. But what yeah, because I know. And what I tell them is, just drop me a WhatsApp. So I understand the seriousness.
Okay.
So I tell them, just drop me a WhatsApp. I might not respond to you. I am very clear about it, that I might not respond to you immediately, but I'll take 1 or 2 days just to filter out, whether it's really for me also making sense to invest my time in there or not.
Yes.
And then once I get that numbers who are serious, they will actually reach out to you. So I have already filtered, out of 10, only 3 are
stage
coming.
Stage 1 of filtering.
Yeah, so only 3 of them will come. Out of those 3, I think one or two will actually be really genuine because they have reached out to you.
Exactly.
They really want either your advice or they really want to network with you.
Yeah.
So then you start meeting them. Sometimes one or two meetings might, you might feel the person is really right. But after that, it might just fall off. So it's okay. It's life.
So time is a good element that makes it
Yeah.
factor.
Develop the relationship basically. Keep
All
on.
right. Okay. So I guess if you're here and you're listening, it's important for you to be in the room, but also make sure that you have value that you're bringing into the room,
Yeah.
and have follow-up steps that will create value.
Yeah,
with the
create
person.
filters for yourself.
Yes. Okay, let's pivot a bit. As I mentioned earlier, some people never even take off the ground. The amount of ideas that people have in this Nairobi. I mean, I meet people every day and someone has, I'm thinking of starting this, I have this idea, but unfortunately some never see the day of light.
Yeah.
What makes people not scale in business, Reena?
So, okay, not starting itself, I think they didn't had the courage to take the first, the leap of faith, the first step, which is actually very important when it comes to getting into entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
You need to just start. Don't overthink what will happen next. Will I be able to serve the customers? Will I be able to manage the team?
Yeah.
From where will I bring the capital to bring that team on place?
Yeah.
Don't overthink. First, start. But when it comes to scaling the operations, a lot of discipline is required when it comes to systems. So, for example, if you have run a business for 2-3 years now, right, you're having sales, you have 2-3 member, either freelancers or a full-time employee, whatever the case is, and you are running business like 3 years, at least you're stable, whether it is consulting, solopreneur, whatever you're doing. Now, if you don't really put a correct system does not mean a software.
Please enlighten us.
Yes. So system does not mean a software. System means people or the processes that you follow, irrespective whether you have the software or not. The standard operating procedures, whether how you are going to hire, if you're going to for a freelancer, what is the amount you're looking at. For example, if I get order or a client or a project of say 1 million, should I hire a freelancer or should I have my full-time employee? How long the project will be? Taking those decisions, try to put, you cannot put everything as a system or a SOP, right? But have a guideline. Try to, because if you worked in for 3 years in a business,
you should
by
have,
now you know your business, how it's working. So try to bring those systems in place. Very important. If you don't have those ones, scalability will not happen. Believe me, even if you get those big orders, you're going to end up, because you're not having financial discipline. You're not having the systems that will cater for your people will have that, you will have that iteration rate, the turnover. Operations might fall off. Every day you're firefighting, you're coming to business. Oh, today the truck has not delivered. Today this has so that all will happen if you are not having those systems in place. So very important for scalability.
Great. Reena, it's important you mention finances, because I guess part of the systems that should be there are the understanding and execution and management of funds. Personally, those are mistakes I did when I was going into entrepreneurship. Like I have mentioned before, working with checks, balances that I had not seen. It was only a word of promise that had not been executed. What are some of the mistakes that business people can make when pivoting, scaling with their finances?
A lot of businesses I have seen in Kenya, especially when it comes to MSMEs, not having a daily check of your cash flows. Okay. So I had my FPO Framework workshop done last Saturday. And one thing that stood out very clearly, and people were like, oh yeah, we really need to do this, was when I said that, are you monitoring your cash? If something I call it as liquidity report. Are you monitoring your liquidity every day?
Yeah.
How many people are going to pay me? How many payments I have already issued? What is in my bank balance? And keep checking it along with your sales. Your sales can be 1 million, but if your bank has only 100,000, there is a big problem.
Yeah, there's
right?
a mismatch.
There is a mismatch. So monitoring your cash flows as a liquidity.
When you say liquidity, maybe for the purposes of our audiences, what do we mean? And please take us through. How do you make 1 million sales and only have 10,000 in the account? What are those gaps? What are we looking at in that space?
So when I say, for example, your revenue is 1 million and in your bank you have only 100,000, your 900,000 is sitting with customers.
Okay.
Right? So you have given credit terms of, for example, 60 days. So if you have made a sale this today, the customer will pay after 60 days.
Yeah.
Right? That is, we are in July, right?
Yeah.
August, September. So 15th of September is when you will get the money. But if, for example, if it's a trading company, you had promised your supplier a payment terms of 45 days.
Okay.
Right? So you have to pay that person, the supplier, by end of August.
Yeah.
So the 15 days extra credit that you're giving to your customer, where is it coming from?
Okay.
It's coming from your own pocket. You are financing the customer, and people play a lot with that credit terms. People will push you to give you, because that 60 days person is not even going to pay you on 60th day.
Yes.
On 60th day, the person will give you a check.
Yeah.
Which will be for, say, after a week or so.
Yeah.
So the person is already extending for another 1 month, indirectly.
Okay.
So those 30 days, you are funding him literally.
Okay.
And if you had not taken that into consideration, when you're doing the costing of your product, you're already making loss.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I hope they've gotten that. So the liquidity part of it, what does it mean for you to be liquid in your business?
So a simple formula, cash conversion cycle, which helps you understand how long it takes for your business to recover the cash. So from the day you are buying, like you're importing your raw material or the trading material that you're buying, from the day the cash comes back to your account, the whole process, purchase, processing, selling, receiving from customer, the whole cycle, it's called cash conversion cycle. If the cash conversion cycle is higher than even your customer base, I think is a problem. So the lower the cash conversion cycle, the better it is for your business.
All right. That keeps the business afloat.
Liquid.
Okay. Credit. Most people get thrown out of business because of credit.
Yes.
As SMEs, as a business coach, what do you speak about when it comes to credit control and even, lending out from your business?
So when it comes to credit control, you have to have 2-3 checks in place very clearly. First, when you're onboarding the customer, that's why I say the systems are so important.
Yeah.
What kind of customers you're onboarding? You should have a checklist. You should do a check with you should have a form where they give references. You should go and ask the references. Is the customer paying in time? How is the credibility? Get there some basic financial statements for last year. Understand how their finances are. Understand from the market how they are, if they are okay. Then you onboard them.
Yeah.
So you're sure that if they are saying 60 days, they will actually pay in 60 days. So there has to be a process in place for credit terms. Also, when you're determining that credit terms, you should be very clear. Like, for example, if you are paying your suppliers in 45 days, you cannot give your customers 60 days of terms, right?
Because then your day for paying your suppliers will get there before your client's day of paying the company.
And even you have your salaries to be paid, you have your other admin expenses to manage. So from where are you managing that?
Okay.
So otherwise, then you will have to go for a funding, right? Overdraft, which is also going to cost you.
Yeah.
So you have to make a very, calculated decision on what you are actually going to give the terms as. if you're giving your suppliers 45 days, you should actually give only 30 days, because then 50
Yes.
days, 15 days you have to rotate your cash,
Yes.
pay others things, and you can manage. So it doesn't practically happen all the time exactly the way we want, but at least when you have a what do you say, a basket of customers, try to play around with it. The top, you can flag them like green customers, or the amber and red, so these customers are good.
Okay.
This money I can
allow me to get to that, and this is the question I want to pose so that it puts that into perspective. The reason why here at Speak Up Africa we continue to have conversations is so that we ensure our community is informed, engaged, and empowered. And this conversation right here is very empowering because I personally am learning. If I throw a spanner into the works, Reena, AI has come to empower us, but people are also operating very blindly. And when you were speaking, I was reflecting on someone can go to ChatGPT or whatever AI tool it is that they're using and get the credit terms generated for them. And if they've not sat down and had an understanding of that, then they operate with the mismarks.
Correct.
You get?
Correct.
All right. Client relation then becomes very important. And that is where I wanted to pose the question for you to give us and put it into perspective. How do you manage your clients? And you had started explaining that you have the ones in the green column, orange, red, that these ones are dangerous ones.
Yeah.
Speaking to client relation, how important is it? How then do we execute it in our businesses?
So a product basket will always have different types of customers.
Okay.
The way I would look at it is, it should have a good mix. There will be few customers who might not be paying you in time. Say for example, you want them to pay in 45 days, but they are paying in 60 days, but they take 60% of your business. Right? So it's not affordable for you to lose that customer and tell them, if it's not 45, I will not give you business. Right? So how do you manage that? Bring the product basket in such a mix, in such a way that your cash flows, you're not suffering. And most importantly, somehow you have to make sure when you're giving extended terms, the price is reflecting that.
Extended terms is what, Reena?
Yeah.
What is the extended terms?
So that means if you need the customer to pay in 45, but you're giving 60 days. Okay, you're giving additional 15 days. So when you're giving the price to that customer, should reflect that.
Okay, so they could be markup margins or something to ensure that
you
it
have
protects
to, right?
your business. Correct.
Because it's finally business. So the customer should also understand that if they want a good pricing, then it comes with a cost.
Okay.
And if they want terms, then it comes with a different cost.
Great.
So yeah, that's the mix I would play with.
Okay. So I want us to look at a demographic of young people who are starting out. Usually, most of the times, your personal account is also your business account because, you're funding your business and then your business is funding your lifestyle. Yeah. Unpack that for us, the dangers, and at what point do we pivot? Because as a business coach, most of the times what we hear is start where you are, start with what you have. Okay, so I'll start with my talent and my bank account, and that has the risk of being mixed up.
Yep.
How do we know that now it's time to pivot, and what is the safest way to operate and separate finances?
So initially when you pivot, it is going to happen.
Okay.
As far as you're very clear, there has to be a timeline. Right? Like, for example, initially, if you're starting out from very basics, you're hardly earning to pay your bills, for example. Yeah. It will be very difficult for you to manage. You give yourself salary, the ideal situation. Yeah. But you should have a timeline that in 3 months, in 4 months, I'm going to reach here. My bills are, for example, 25,000 a month. Once I start making 30, 35, I'm going to put it as, you create a small company, solopreneur, whatever. Give that account to your clients. Let money come in there, and end of the month, you pay yourself a salary.
Okay.
It makes your accounts clean. it makes KRA clean. A lot of taxation, because you don't want to really end up into tax queries when you're really growing, and now you have not managed that, you will also get caught up with KRA. So you maintain that discipline.
Okay, let me highlight something important that you've mentioned. Put yourself on a salary. Reena, I know this is a practice not many people are doing, because then, you're the CEO, you're the director, you're the founder. The accounts are really intertwined. So when we are creating these systems, I just want you to put some emphasis on the element of having yourself on a salary so that you're the expert. Please speak into that.
So what happens is, your company is a different separate entity.
Okay.
Right? It's a legal entity.
Okay.
And you are a person who is working for the company.
Okay.
Right? So that's the real difference. You are not company. You're working for a company. If you understand that concept, you will understand that it will also help you to understand the pricing as well. It actually brings a lot of clarity, because if you're not able to pay yourself, right, if you think this kind of CEO or CFO should earn X amount of salary, and if the company is not able to pay you that kind of salary, that means there is so much need to work on the company itself. What kind of clients you are dealing with, what is your the plan for the next year, how are you going to target, who is your target audience, the final customer. So you will start building business from that perspective as well. If you just keep on using the money that whatever is coming in bank, you're not thinking on a disciplined way of growth.
Okay. And it's important for you to have those for you to scale. All right, Reena. I've had these times without numbers that when businesses are starting, they are laid on the foundation of support from family, friends, and fools. The 3 Fs, you know. And this could be difficult because then your relatives probably are not delivering, so it's hard for you to discipline them. And then they're taking money from the company, constantly having emergencies. This could really bring a cobweb of confusion and derail execution in the organization or in the business. Please unpack that for us.
So this is another most common problem we have seen, not only in Kenya, it's like globally, everywhere. A lot of people start with that. And when even I'm hiring, or when I want to grow, my friend is here, he's from college, let me just put the so that's the reason I keep emphasizing on having a structured process. So for example, if I know that now you need to hire a person, have a structured, first of all, a job description, what kind of role you're looking at, have a complete clarity of who would fit in that role.
Correct.
Right? And what would be your hiring process look like? Have a questionnaire, some tests done, so you're choose, because business you're building, there is another series I was watching on TV. It's in India, it's called Quota Factory. But one thing that I learned from there is, the person wants to build up tuition and academy. So he goes for an advice to a mentor, and the mentor gives him advice: don't look for a teacher, look for a founder teacher who would be aligned with your vision and mission, and who would carry forward the legacy even if you are not there. Right? So when you're hiring a person, that kind of things should always be kept in mind. You put the right person in that, even if it is a small job. Even if you're hiring a social media managing person, you want to hire an intern, there is no harm in hiring an intern. But what kind of intern? Is that person really looking for growth? That person is looking for learning, or is just want to make money? Understand the person, hire a right person for the right job, and through a right process. That will take you very far. Because imagine if that person stays with you for next 2 to 3 years at least. When you're growing, you already know that if I'm not there, the person knows
and actually
take over few duties. So it's very important to hire a person systematically.
Okay, Reena, do you know the tough reality and truth there? It calls for a lot of self-realization for you to be able to understand that for me to execute this level of excellence, I have to have met that level of excellence
Correct.
myself. Mindset, Reena. When you are pivoting from employment
Right.
to get into business, what was your mind frame? And now that you've grown to a level where you can train us and coach us and work with us, gained the credibility to even be a mentor, what was the role of mindset shift in this process?
So first and foremost, most important mindset that you need to come out of, like especially when we are moving from job to entrepreneurship, is it's possible and it's okay even if I fail.
Yeah.
Don't push yourself too hard to the perfection limit, that oh, if I'm doing that it has to be perfect, and everyone is going to like you.
Yes.
You know, there is something new recently as I networked. I learned something is the rule of 1/3. You know, 30% of people will like you,
Okay.
30% of people don't care about you, and 30% of people will actually like you.
Okay.
And they will be with you, they will follow you, or they will support you, or whatever
Yes.
it is, you know.
Yes.
So don't worry about who is thinking what.
Yeah.
Do the right work. Even if you fail, learn from that, improve. Most important thing is not failing. Failing is okay. Are you learning from there? Don't repeat your mistakes. Making a mistake is okay, but making the same mistake twice is wrong.
Okay. This means then people need to be resilient. You know, Reena, personally, I was very careful of who doesn't like me. And I guess earlier on in my years, I suffered from people pleasing, you know. You walk into a room and you want everybody to applaud you,
Yeah.
everybody to say all the
Oh,
nice
you're so
things.
good.
Until the day I realized that sometimes it's beyond you. Some people will just not like you. And I like what you've said. 30% of people will just not like you. And there's another bunch of people that will simply just not care.
Yeah, they will not care.
Yeah,
I mean,
whether you're scaling in your business or failing or creating value or not,
it doesn't
you're not
matter
their
to
cup
them.
of tea.
Yeah.
That's why we have people who like coffee and people who like tea. Building resilience then is very important. So how can young entrepreneurs build resilience as they transverse these murky waters? And yeah, right now, even in Kenya, we are going through tough economic times, you know. I mean, sometimes it's disheartening to see and it's sad to see businesses close, but that is not the end of the story.
Correct.
How do we build that attitude?
One thing that I have noticed with new generation coming up is, okay, I don't think a lot of millennials are getting into business. So I'm really talking about Gen Zs.
Is it true
Because
that
that's the
millennials are pretty much reserved and work from a safety net?
I think that's how they have been wired. You know, when
Okay.
they were growing up,
Yeah.
the parents have told them, you know, go for a job, don't go for a business, you will lose your money, make sure you're earning well, your family should be stable. So that's what they have been taught. So
Yes.
we should not
You
blame
didn't-
them.
yeah.
That's how they have been wired.
Okay.
But Gen Zs are free, they want to explore, and I really love that aspect about them. You know, the courage that they have.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, they have a lot of expectations from themselves. They think that if I'm putting a product out there, it should just pick up immediately.
Yeah.
There is a rush to be successful within 6 months,
That's true.
within 1 year. And it doesn't happen. Whether you are Gen Z, Gen Alpha, whatever generation you come from,
Yeah.
the whole economy will take its own time
Yeah.
to validate your product, and it will test you. It will test you in terms of not only on your product specifications, you know, whether you can sustain, you know, the ups and downs of the business,
Yeah.
whether you understand the market, whether you are able to communicate well. So economy is going to test you.
Yeah.
So be prepared for that. Don't rush for that success. It won't happen in 6 months or 1 year. But if you continue, you know, daily, just keep on working
Consistency.
yourself. Even if you fail, work on it. If you are happy, still go back and work on it.
Yeah.
Don't take it to your head. Keep on working, and it is going to show you results. In 1 year, you will be one step up. In 2 years, you will be third. You know, you might have crossed 2 or 3 steps. So consistency is so important. They have to understand that, and don't rush. That's my advice to them. Don't rush for that success, man. Don't push yourself too hard.
Okay.
It's okay.
Reena, just this in the same breath that millennials were trained to work under safety environments, Gen Zs have the pressure of social media. I think with
Yeah.
technological evolution, I mean, social media came to
I
free us, and now the world is our oyster. The
know.
world is a small village. But
Correct.
it comes with its own fair share of
Correct.
problems, because, Rina, these kids are being born with technology on their phones right
Correct.
from Cocomelon,
Right.
and
Right.
that's what the system they're growing into. Right now, Rina, 19-year-olds are driving Rolls Royce and, all these kind of flamboyant lifestyles.
Yeah.
And it could work to our detriment. My question herein is this: do you think the hustle culture is working for our good, or is it working for our disadvantage as a business coach? And I will say something I said earlier in our conversation today. Everybody wants to be their own boss.
Yeah.
For example,
It's good. There's nothing wrong in
okay.
that. I love that. In fact, I'm pro. I want, even my kids, I tell them, I don't want you to be working as employees.
Oh,
Ever.
really?
Yeah. Okay, first 1 or 2 years you can go and learn, few
Yeah,
things from your.
yeah.
But you should never be a full-time employee, because you will be restricted to the thought process of that employer. Even if you switch employers, you are still, restricting yourself or your growth to what your employer thinks. So you're giving them permission to tell you how much how much you can grow.
Rita, interesting thing. The other day I was in a gathering, and the speaker said, be very careful who is your mentor, because, to paraphrase what they said, they determine the cap of your vision, to be the ability to see what you can achieve and what you cannot achieve, because they constantly speak into you and say, this can be done, this cannot be done. Interesting, you say it.
Yes, because why you want someone else to come and tell you what you can do and you cannot do? You should decide for yourself. And that's why I appreciate Gen Z so much. In fact, I learn from them. I see the courage, the way, okay, I cannot literally replicate because I'm a millennial, Gen X, I don't know, whatever that thing is. But I really love the spirit. You have to, that's how Kenya will grow. You have to try those businesses out. But do, instead of just jumping into it, just do it in a structured way. So, it would be a really good combination if you take mentorship from millennials or coaches and take your courage and your passion and your energy. When these two work together, imagine the growth it can happen.
Rina, then what happens to all these corporate entities that are there?
I told you,
who gets employed?
See,
then?
there is 1/3 rule, right?
Yeah.
1/3 rule of the world will not care whether technology is growing. They just want to go work. So some people will always be there. It's not that the whole world will move to entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
There will be some people who they don't care what is happening. They don't want to grow. There are so many people who don't want to
They
grow.
don't
Believe
want
me.
to grow?
Yeah, there are people. I have seen in organizations, the person is there in one position
for 10 years.
and he is or she is happy. They will just go home with happy. I have got my salary. So we need all kind of people, right? So world will continue.
Sorry. That's really interesting. As a business coach, number one, please take us through that journey for you. You scale up through your corporate ladder, pivoting to entrepreneurship, and now even teachers. How do we scale in our business? Please give us the backstory of that, and then what has been your key highlight moment in your coaching career so far?
So the journey has been very interesting. I'm a person who likes to keep on experimenting, changing, so even in my employment, that's why, I say that because it comes from experience. Why I should ask my employer to validate, where I can be. So if I think that now I have learned everything in that organization and I'm just doing a repetitive role,
Yes.
like a robot,
Yes.
I would just shift.
Yeah.
And getting that growth is not really easy. Like, you really don't grow from financial controller to CFO in next 4 years, if whenever I want. So you keep on moving from financial control from one company to another, just a larger company, so that at least the whole thing changes, you learn something more. But that's what kept on bothering me, that I need to do something more. I cannot be doing this, just changing jobs or just going up one ladder, and then I'm still, after some time, I see I'm doing the same stuff, because you are still restricted to what they want you to do. So that's where the whole thing of becoming your own boss
came from.
And I would like to admit that it was not easy and it was not that fancy first 3 months, and I would be in so much pressure, because now the monthly checks have stopped, right? And you have a lifestyle, you have all your kids' the fees to be paid, and it was so tough. I mean, I really didn't know what to do. But just keep on planning yourself, plan yourself very well, try to go up to those networks you had built, and slowly it develops. It takes time, but it develops if you are determined, focused on that intentional growth.
Okay. Reena, sometimes people stay in corporate spaces in the same level because of number one, maybe the disinterest in growing and leveling up, but number two, the growth comes with also skill set growth. You have risen up the ladder. What's the importance of keeping on with the chase, being able to acquire more skill sets and growing here?
Very important. If you're not learning, you're not growing, is what I strongly believe. I was stagnant in my career at one point of time. I was not growing, and I realized that that is happening because I have stopped learning. And the moment I enrolled myself in different courses, it was women in leadership, it was John Maxwell, understanding what leadership means actually. How I should empower my team, how I should handle my team, so that overall, if they grow, the organization grows. All those aspects came in place, and then I started growing. So learning is like continuous learning is one of the most important factor. Even today, every day, I make sure at least 1 hour I spend on learning.
Okay, great. Let's pivot back to our book. If someone was to buy the book today, what is that one chapter that you wrote with so much passion that you would tell them, please jump right into that chapter?
I told you, the chapter called I Can Do It Alone syndrome. There are people who think that they are the only ones who can execute the task. If they are not there in the business will stop. And actually, that is what is stopping you from growing. Make sure you learn that there are systems. There is a delegation, something called delegation. You need to learn how to delegate correctly. Create those SOPs. Put your whatever that person is doing, put them in correct standard operating procedures, systems, and follow them through. Because if you don't put systems in your business, that's my core passion theme. I keep on repeating. If you don't put systems in your business, you cannot grow. That's the ground really.
You're bound to fail. All right. I just want you to take a minute and take us through your book. This is a book that has skills to really help small entrepreneurs really scale into their businesses and avoid mistakes. I personally believe when we have coaches and trainers, these are people who've lived experiences that can help me escape a lot of matrices that might hinder me from making progress as fast and as much. Please take time and take us through decoding your business, decoding business growth, the book, because here at Speak Up Afrika, we have this community for people to grow, and one of the ways that we ensure growth is having tools, and one of the tools will definitely be this book.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. So, Decoding Business Growth is a book which is specifically designed for MSMEs, people who start business but they don't know at one point of time why I'm not growing.
Yeah.
I am doing the money, the sales is there, but there is no money in my bank. My people don't work the way I do.
Okay.
My operations are all over. I'm firefighting every day. If you have any of these problems, this book is for you. This is a practical toolkit. I have a framework, finance, people, and operations, FPO, and the book is also divided in these 3 sections, having a case study in each section. So there are 5 to 6 chapters in each section, which will have a case study. So you can actually relate, oh, this problem even my business is facing. Even I'm going through the same story. Let me see what is it. There is a solution. An FPO lens, like if you think from a CFO lens perspective, what would it look like? And the lesson you should learn from that chapter. So it's so practical because I have read a lot of books and I have seen the business coaches writing a lot of about leadership, a theory part of it. So I wanted, why not to make it, so simple. So simplicity is something I really try to embrace. Keep it simple, very relatable. Take that specific chapter, read, and you will find a solution. Even if it's not the best fit for you, you will be able to relate. Even if you apply that solution for now your business, you'll start seeing the growth. And also, most important part I feel is, as much as you implement all the tools that are given in the book, you should continuously work on growing yourself as well, because you are the lid. You will decide how far your business grows.
Fantastic. That gives you a perspective for yourself and for the team that you have. What legacy, Reena, do you want to leave behind with the books that you are writing, with the networks that you are creating, with the clients that you are coaching? What is the legacy that you want to leave behind?
The legacy that I would like, or I'm working on building, is when they talk to me, or after they have worked with me, or when they have read the book, they feel that now they have the knowledge, or the management gap that I keep on talking about is getting filled, or there is a bridge between that. And now they are having an awareness about why my businesses were not doing well, and now I am able to grow. So that's the legacy of growth that I want to leave.
Great. Reena, thank you so much for sharing the nuggets of wisdom that you have with us. I hope you will create more time to come and share with us here at Speak Up Afrika, so that we transform lives one conversation after the other. And that is the impact we want to leave for our generation. Where do we find you? How do we connect with you? If we want you to train us for our businesses, how do we connect with you?
So all my social media handles are Reena Gore. You can log into Instagram, TikTok, even on YouTube. I have a podcast called Unleash and Thrive.
Please go subscribe and watch and listen.
You can reach out to me there. And yeah, if you can DM me on Instagram or TikTok, I'll definitely get back to you.
You're such a guru on LinkedIn. Please.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That is your
How can I
space.
forget that?
Yes.
LinkedIn is a platform which I really love, and I'm really very active there. So please reach out to me, DM. If specifically it relates to business or coaching or consulting, LinkedIn is the best platform you can reach out to me.
Reena, as we wind up, Gen Zs do say LinkedIn gives us a lot of pressure. I mean, that is the one platform you go to and someone's profile has more than 10 jargons in one sentence. And I mean, it's just accolade and achievement after the other. Question is, does it convert? Does LinkedIn convert to business networkings and opportunities?
It does. It does. 100%. I am a live example of it. I can, a lot of people connect to me on LinkedIn just to, it can be an opportunity on media. It can be a business consulting. I have been getting a lot of connections from there and actual businesses from there. So yes, it does convert. The only thing I would advise is don't take pressure. It should be actually, something that you should look forward for.
Yeah.
That one day I want my profile to be like that.
Yeah.
Just take it positively. You'll be good.
Okay. So we keep pursuing the LinkedIn streets. Thank you, Reena. I'm truthfully really grateful for you making time to be here. I have personally learned, and I know this has had a ripple effect on here at Speak Up Africa community.
Thank you so much, Wendy. I was really looking forward for this conversation because you are one of the most amazing persons I have met and very authentic. I like to connect to authentic people, and you are one of a great person. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. That was an insightful, thought provoking conversation that we've had. If you are looking to scale your business and grow in milestones, then this today I know has been powerful for you. And here at Speak Up Africa, we continue to bring you conversations that aim to inform, engage, and empower. For now, I will love you and leave you. My name is Wendy Loyce. I will be seeing you on the next one. Kwaheri.